Do you ever feel like you are giving away too much free content on your podcast? Like you're giving away too much value? You may have also experienced these feelings in other parts of your business, like in your Instagram or in blog posts that you've written. I've talked to lots of people who have expressed this fear before they start their podcast, and I think it's a really, really interesting discussion. So today I'm going to share my opinion on this topic, and I would also really love to hear your thoughts after listening. All right, let's get started. Welcome to Podcasting for Educators, the podcast that helps TPT authors and other online educators launch and grow their show. I'm Sarah, former elementary school teacher turned podcast manager, and I'm on a mission to help you get your podcast out and into the ears of those who need it most. Busy teachers, counselors, literacy specialists, SLPs, parents, and everyone in between. Each week, we'll cover quick tips, strategies, and podcast industry updates so that you can be on top of your podcasting game and gain some new customers along the way. Are you ready? Let's get to it. So if you've ever felt this fear that you're giving away too much content for free, you're definitely not alone. And your feelings are valid, and they're likely in the back of your mind because of a couple different things. We hear horror stories of people totally copying the free work of other business owners and then going off and selling it and making tons of money from it. Or maybe people have told you that if you give away free content, then your listeners, your audience will always expect free from you, and they'll never make that jump to paying for your resources or for your support. So to address that first concern of people copying your work or copying your content, unfortunately, this is kind of a cost and reality of having an online business. Hopefully this never happens to you, but whether your content is paid or free, it does happen all the time to people. If you have a paid course, there are people who will go in and consume or download all of your content and then ask for a refund all in the same day. There are people who will steal your ideas and claim them to be your own. I have even felt this myself. If you've listened to the first few episodes of my podcast, I gave away my entire process for launching a podcast for free over the course of several episodes. Have I ever thought, maybe this isn't such a great idea? Yeah, I'd be lying if I said I didn't. But at the end of the day, teaching people is what I want from this podcast. And I didn't start a podcast to make every listener a client, just like you didn't start your Instagram account expecting every single follower to become a buyer. And to address this second point of this thought that if you put out free content, people will always expect free from you, I want you to consider something. There will be people who listen to every single one of your podcast episodes and will never, ever buy from you. They won't buy your high offers. They won't buy your low offers. They won't join your membership. They are here for the free content, and that's it. But it still serves a purpose. You're making an impact on them. They're becoming followers on social media. They're sharing with their friends and coworkers who maybe will buy from you. But then there's this other set of people. They are the people who are soaking up your free content on your podcast because it's so good, and they're just waiting for you to share how they can work with you or where they can buy your resources. You have built trust with them week after week after week. And so if they're going to buy anything from anyone to solve fill in the blank, whatever problem they're having, it's going to be you because you have continuously shown up for them. They trust you and they want to buy from you and they want to support your business. This is another reason to make sure that you're talking about your offers consistently, but that is a different conversation for a different episode. So really, if you're worrying so much about limiting the value that you provide through your free content like your podcast or your blog or your social media posts, you really are kind of stuck in this scarcity mindset, and that can really cause major challenges in your podcast and in your business. I'll tell you a quick story. Before I worked with TPT authors, I worked with a lot of online coaches, and I once had a client, I'm going to call her Anne, and she really struggled with this. She would take so much time to record her episodes, and then she'd send them over to me, and she would literally say, I am afraid I'm giving away too much value. Can you please edit this so that I'm not giving away too much? Like, she was asking me to purposely take out pieces of information that would be really valuable for people. And I'm like, huh? What? No. You can't think like this. If you're not providing value in your episodes, then what are you really even doing? Why do you have a podcast? You don't want your listeners to tune in just because you had a really, really compelling title. And then they listen to it and they feel like they just wasted 30 minutes of their life and have nothing to show for it. It's like a few weeks ago, I was in South Carolina for the weekend with my parents, who have recently become vegans. I actually call them vegan-ish because they don't follow the vegan diet to a T. And anyway, they were cooking meatless burgers for dinner. They called them cheeseburgers, but they weren't because vegans don't eat cheese. And they were like the Impossible Burgers, or I'm blanking on the name of the other brand that they had. Anyway, they were really hyping them up, telling me how good they were and how you won't taste the difference. They taste exactly like a regular hamburger. Let me tell you, you can taste the difference. And I left that dinner feeling very unsatisfied. And the next time that I want a burger, I'm going to go somewhere else, somewhere that I know I can trust, somewhere that I know I can get a delicious burger from. Because I don't eat burgers that often, but when I do, I want it to be delicious. So what I'm getting at here with this vegan metaphor is that you want people to walk away from your podcast episodes feeling like they gained something, like they learned something. There is an excellent article, and I'll link it in the show notes, from HuffPost, and it's called Why Giving Away Free Content is a Money-Making Strategy. And it really nails my opinion of this fear of giving away too much free content. In the beginning of this article, it says, people do business with people they like and trust. This much quoted nugget is a staple of doing business in the online economy. So in this atmosphere, the best way to build trust has become to give away not just free content, but to give away your best content for free. And if you're thinking after hearing that, I run a business, I'm not giving away everything for free, I'm with you. That's not what the message is here. The message is not to give away everything in your business for free. But I want you to be real for a second. We live in a tech-filled world where people can go and they can Google almost anything at any time. As a TPT seller, or someone who has a course or a membership in the teacherpreneur space, when you go on Instagram, you can find a ton of accounts that are very similar to yours. But do you know what sets you apart? Your unique style, your way of teaching things, the insane value and education that you bring, and of course, the fact that you have a podcast, which is a single place that people can consistently go to and hear from you every single week. As I said before, if you aren't giving enough value, they're going to go somewhere else for it, and they're going to find it somewhere else. So back to this article, it lists 5 reasons why free, valuable content is so important and how it actually helps you rather than hurts you. Their first point was that free content gives your audience a taste of what to expect when they work with you, right? Like it's kind of like when you go to Costco and there's all those samples and it's glorious, and whether you're just going there for some snacks or you're actually trying the samples to see if you want to buy something, like that's the whole point of a sample. You want to taste it, see if it's good, before you buy it. The same thing works with the free content that you're putting out there, whether it's a free download or a free podcast episode. This is the way for people to kind of sample your teaching style, your personality, and see if they want to come back for more. Their second point is that free content positions you as an expert and authority on this topic. I talk about this all the time, especially in the TPT space. Guys, there are not that many podcasts out there for teachers, counselors, SLPs, homeschool parents, like this whole community. And so having your podcast and showing up on your podcast every single week or bi-weekly, however frequently you put out episodes, that is building your authority on its own. It's a place where you can really showcase that you know what you're talking about and that you are here to help your audience. Their third point is that free content equals free marketing. And underneath this point, it goes on to say that every time you create content and make it free to consume for people, you create another opportunity to market your business. Free content creates opportunities to direct web traffic, convert leads, start conversations, answer questions, and so much more. So with your podcast, you're thinking, okay, you're putting out this content. That content through your episode description is driving people to your website to learn more about you, to listen to more of your episodes, to read more of your blog posts, to let them know where they can connect with you, to let them know what your email address is in case they want to send you a question. So every free podcast episode has the ability to drive people to other areas of your business, like your social media or your website. Number 4 is that free content gets you loyal followers. So this kind of comes back to that idea of, I know 1,000 true fans is thrown out there a lot. I really think 100 true fans is awesome. You have people who are loyal to you, who are coming back week after week listening to your episodes. And those are the people who are telling their friends about your podcast and who are telling your friends about your TPT store. So that word of mouth piece is huge. And then number 5, and this is my favorite, and you may have heard people say this before, but free content helps you make more sales. And the point that they make in the article for this one is that if you have this really great free content, your audience is going to think, whoa, if she gives away or if he gives away so much value for free, imagine how absolutely insanely amazing her paid resources must be. So free value-filled content in your podcast episodes is a good thing. Are you with me here? It builds trust, it builds authority, it builds community. It leads people down your funnel from your podcast episodes to your email list, to your resources, to your monthly membership. Free is good. Free is necessary. So real quick, how do you draw the line between free and paid? The rule of thumb is you give the what and the why, and you sell the how. A few examples of this. Back to those episodes that I did on my podcast of launching a podcast. I told you in those episodes exactly why to start a podcast, what you need to have and do to start a podcast, but I didn't give how to do it specifically for you and your business. That would require a strategy call with me or a launch package with me. When you teach on your episodes, you're sharing with teachers, counselors, etc., why to use a certain strategy and what to do in order to implement that strategy. But if they want the how, the done for you, they need to join your email list or purchase a specific resource in your TPT store. When you have on teachers who are part of your membership, which is a really great thing to do, by the way, if you haven't done that yet. When you have those kinds of people on, they are sharing their transformation with your audience, why they joined your membership, why they purchased a certain product of yours, what it's done for them, how it's helped them. But if your listeners who are tuning into this episode want that same transformation, they'll have to go and join the membership themselves. So to kind of wrap things up, if you've had the mindset of being fearful to give away too much, it's okay. Hopefully after this episode, you've seen some of the benefits and can have a mindset shift to really want to give, because I promise it will pay off. I would absolutely love to hear your thoughts on this conversation. So please either send me an email or send me a message on Instagram at Podcasting for Educators and let me know how you're feeling about this. Keep showing up for your people. Keep doing what you're doing. I am always cheering you on. Have a great week. If you have any questions or takeaways from this episode, send me a message on Instagram at Podcasting for Educators. I'd love to hear from you. All links and resources mentioned can be found in the show notes at podcastingforeducators.com. Thanks so much for tuning in today. Bye for now.